Gonna start a new series today regarding my 1968 Dodge C600 shop truck, and I'll get this uploaded and edited and everything, and I'll include pictures of what the truck looked like the last couple of weeks and months. But it came to me, you may have seen this in the CB video, it came to me without a bed at all. It was just frame rails, and then I got a box with sides and front and back and all that. I'll include a picture of that. Tore all of that off, tore the floor out, and now I'm putting in a new floor. So I'm gonna hop up here. These are 2x8 16 footers treated. And if you look at I'll kind of just catch you up on what I've done so far, and then hopefully bring you along for the rest of it. The first board is actually tucked underneath this side of the frame, and it was too tall to begin with, 1.5 inches tall, and this is more like 1 3/8 inches. So I had to actually shave. It actually might be more like 1.25 inches. I had to shave this board all the way down, the whole length of the board, to tuck it underneath the side of the frame, and that was a big hassle. Going back even further, when I tore all the boards off, those came off fairly easily, but that left me with about 150 screws that I had to go around and cut off. You can kind of see here each of my little cut marks with the cutting wheel. So I cut all of those off, and now instead of using those special self-tapping screws for the floors of trailers, I'm just using carriage bolts, which I had about 150 of on hand, and nylon lock nuts, which I had to buy a box of, but I think I'm still better off, and it's gonna look really cool and be strong, very strong. These are 3/8 carriage bolts, so they're actually 5-inch long, which is all I had, and I only need about 2-inch, so I'm having to thread the nylon lock nut all the way on with a wrench and then cut the excess bolt off. So you'll hopefully get to see that in some future videos when I get a little more work done on this. So I've got one board on, and it's bolted down almost all the way. I've got three cross members left of bolts to put in, and those are a hassle. You've got to measure everything, drill it with about an 1/8 inch drill bit, and then drill it again with a 3/8 inch drill bit, and that just takes forever. So that's where I've got so far, and I've got one more board on hand, and it's gonna tuck up all the way up into here, I believe. So what I'll do is cut, if we figure this is maybe 2-inch, I'll cut down 2 inches right here so that this just tucks as far up as it can. It's probably overkill, but I think I'll be happy that I went to the extra work to tuck these in case they ever wanted to split out or warp, or that'll kind of keep the water off the ends. So I don't know, that's what I'm going with. I'm figuring total we'll have, let's see, these are 2x8s, but they're actually 7.5, and we're just under 8 feet wide, so that would be 96 inches, and if we've got 8 inches, 96, I think I need about 11.5 or 12 boards. So what I'll do is I've started on this side, and I'll work in not quite to the middle, and then I'll start on that side and do the same thing. That way, if I have just a sliver of a board, it'll be in the middle, and the whole bed will be symmetrical, instead of me starting on one side and working all the way over and having one sliver on the end. Especially since the sides are those tucked in boards, I wouldn't want my one sliver to be tucked in. It would be a real hassle to work with. So that's what I've got so far. I'll hop back down and kind of show you the rest of the operation of how this is all going to work. So the idea with this truck is to turn it into its main function, which will be a tow truck. And so the reason I went with a 16-foot bed is about the biggest truck I'll tow is a 1-ton, in particular it's a 1-ton Chevy 2500. And that truck, from the front bumper to the rear tire, is like 14.5 feet. So that'll allow the whole truck to get on here with a little bit of room to spare. Things I'll be adding are a headache rack, which we'll fabricate sometime, sometime during the series. I'll show the fabrication and welding on that. And then I can show you here, I have an existing hoist, and there are a couple of sill plates, they're called, that will attach to the sills, or what I call the frame rails, of my bed. So we're looking at putting like a 90-degree L bracket here and here, and welding that. Then we'll run a weld all the way across the bottom, and then bolt in with the 4 bolts on both sides. Then I better hurry before I run out of space on the memory card. In the back, I had to move my brackets just about a foot forward, so I had to cut all these off, move from here to here to line up with my existing, what I call the pivot pin. So this is a 2-inch, for now it's just a 2-inch pipe. But when it's all said and done, it'll be a 2-inch solid shaft that the whole bed will tip up and down on. If you can picture it, it'll tip up, I'm thinking about to where the window is on the truck, maybe the bottom of the window. So it'll tip up about half of what it's capable. And then I'll have a set of, I'm just anticipating about 8 to 10 foot ramps that will hook in here and there on that side and lay off the back. And then I've got an 18,000 pound winch that will be bolted to the front and suck up whatever you're towing. So that's what that looks like. Just a brief video to introduce the series today. And as soon as I've got more supplies on hand and I'm going to do more work, we'll be back with part 2. So that's what I've got for today, and thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next video.